Happy Saturday, everybody. It is January 22nd, 2022. A lot of twos. This week, we are talking about call tracking and how it's used to understand your ROI. Stay tuned. It's Bernie O'Lilla. I'm glad to be back in the den for Small Business Saturday, and today I am joined by Mr. Drive a Car, give a dog a bone himself, Paul Carbone Jr. Paul, how you doing today?
You know me, Bernie. If I were any better, there'd have to be two of them.
Yeah, there'd have to be two of them. Paul, just so everybody knows out there, Paul won the Best Dad Joker in our office awards at the Christmas party last year. But that is beside the point, Paul, because today we're talking about one of your favorite things, which is why we have you in here, is what?
It's call tracking.
Call tracking. Why?
If calls can be tracked, why wouldn't you track them?
Yeah.
Quality assurance, you get everything from understanding how things are being transcribed, where leads are coming from. It is probably the best thing that you can do with a phone.
Yeah, well, let's take a step back and let's say, what's the best kind of lead, even if you're in the home services business or here at One SEO? What's the best kind of lead?
I'm going to guess that it's a phone call, and that is absolutely true.
Yeah, because when somebody calls in and they want to talk to you, right, that's way better than follow them down by email or having to transcribe a web chat or get a form and then send them an email and do all this stuff. Somebody calls in, it's a great lead, and the more great leads you get, you're going to want to know where they're coming from so you can do more of whatever got that person to call you in the first place, right?
Yeah, Bernie, you're absolutely right. And I got to say, the one thing I always hear from contractors is, I don't want to change my phone number. My phone number's on the side of my van. Well, it's 2022. How many people are actually remembering your phone number?
Unless you're JG Wentworth, 877 Cash Now, I guarantee you nobody knows your phone number, you know? And it's great that you have it on the truck. You're 100% right. It's great that you have it on the truck because you should. But when someone comes to your website, and let's say call tracking is so complex now, you can get there's dynamic stuff, a phone number for everything, a phone number for your Google My Business. The numbers can switch out depending on what pages on the site people are on, right? Yep. When someone comes there, it's a call now button anyway. It'll have the number, but it'll be a call now button. You hit the button, and then it connects you right to the service technician or the CRM, whoever's going to be taking the call on your end.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, think about it. If you have different sources of digital marketing that you're doing, whether it's Google Ads, whether it's the organic traffic, SEO, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever, there's a different phone number that's going to be associated with it. So if you know exactly how much you're spending on that side, why not be able to track it? Why not be able to determine it?
Exactly. And, when you think about the trucks, too, you want people to remember your trucks, right? Have great branding. Back in the day, you had to remember the phone number if you saw a truck driving. Now it's good to have it. But if they remember the brand, then they go to the website, and then, bam, you got your call, your phone number right there. And it comes in either direct, organic, whatever the source is. But the focus needs to be the tracking so you know what works and what does not, right?
Put it this way.
Dude, and even if you wanted to track the number on the van, you can. You could put that phone number in the dashboard, too, if you have a call rail or something, and track it that way.
And that's what a lot of people end up doing.
Yeah.
If something can be tracked, the bottom line is, why wouldn't you track it?
Yeah, call tracking is huge. You spend all this money on your digital marketing, right? You spend all this money on these leads. If you were in roofing or something like that, or you're an HVAC contractor in a busy area like Arizona, where it's the most competitive in the country, and you're not having your call tracking set up the right way, it's what's the point? You're going to spend $20,000 a month on your digital marketing. Why not put the tracking number in place,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
If you like this content and you're trying to grow your business, follow me at Lance Bachman and Lance Bachman Digital on Facebook. LFG, time to grow.
And I think, Paul, as you're a big fan of the show, obviously. Paul's number one fan. Drive a car, give the dog the bone.
That's right. Drive a who, give a dog a
Let's talk about the tracking side of it and what it looks like, because let's just show people in Lions Logic, our reporting dashboard that you love showing people, what the call tracking actually looks like. So when you see here, and we're looking at our good buddies at Dilling, you can see that in the last 90 days it is, I think, 1347 calls. You can see the number of calls that came in that were answered right here, but you can see how long the call lasted, 2 minutes, 53 seconds. That's your average duration time, which is incredible. Yep. So you can see the calls are good. Then when you start scrolling down, you can even put it in graphs. You can see first calls, unique calls. And then you get into the sources right here. Bam, look at that. Google Ads kills it for them. Look at all these phone calls from Google Ads in this graph. And as you scroll down, you pull your recordings in here so you can jump in and check on the text, whoever's been answering the phones, and listen to it. But the bottom line, Paul, is if you're not call tracking, what's the point? You're just throwing stuff to the wind. You don't know what's working. You're just hoping something does. That saying that Lance says all the time, that's the quote, is 50% of all advertising works. It's a matter of figuring out which 50% does. This is going to help you find out which 50% does.
Right. And you know what? Anybody answering the phone, you can always have them say, oh, how did you hear about us? But how do you know that was actually the reliable source?
No doubt. Yeah, that's 100% right. Because sometimes there's a lot of touch points. We always talk about that figure 8 when it comes to digital marketing. They find you here, and they end up over here, and then somehow they circle back around because they talk to their friend or their girlfriend's brother refers you, whatever it is. But it's just important to track as much as you can through that journey.
Yeah.
So great Small Business Saturday, Paul. Thank you for joining us.
If I could be here every Saturday, I would.
Yeah, he'll be back next Saturday too. Everybody, listen, if you need help with your tracking, digital marketing at all, give us a call. Mr. Paul Carbone will take care of you, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.